Right, as I was saying, I'm looking forward to this one because I think I'm going to find out new things of where our industry is going. My role will be moderating, but I'm looking forward to hearing your experiences and your thoughts on this because sports journalism has come a long way from the days of print newspapers and radio broadcasts. And with the rise of digital technology and social media, journalism in sports and obviously in other sectors has evolved to become more interactive, multimedia, and accessible. So it's an exciting as well as challenging time, and we're going to look into it. And I propose a game to you. Nobody really knows what's going to happen next, but there are trends and ideas, and our experience tells us that we more or less can paint a picture. So I'm going to read statements that have been done by others or by myself or that I heard on where we're going. And I will throw it in there. And as you are all good debaters, you just pick whatever you can from it or one from it and take us into understanding where we're going next. So the first one, to me, I think this is key. The live game is and will be considered the foundation of a sports programming. But audience, you, demand access to the athletes behind the masks. So the line between a live sports broadcast and behind-the-scenes coverage will continue to blur. Do you agree?
Ladies first, or?
No, you can start.
I can start. Well, yeah, we spoke about it a minute ago a little bit, and I said a sentence that I think Isabella said, no, I hope not, but let's speak about the live game, a game of football. I think that nobody or almost nobody watches it just by watching a television. Everybody has one mobile phone, maybe two, maybe tablet. Everybody is seeking more information. Is it just data? We heard a lot about data, about some live statistics. Is it, I don't know, what shoes has the goal scorer on or something like that, or the new jersey. My kid loves the stories about jerseys and stuff, but everybody is looking for something more. I think sports is an amazing thing. We are all so lucky to even be around sport, but today everybody wants something more.
And in fact, Isabella, we are doing that already, aren't we? A little bit.
Yes, no, I agree, but I disagree because I think every person that loves football is gonna stop their lives to watch the game live. But not only watch, they have also statistic, they are betting, so they need to know more. But they're gonna watch the game live, they're gonna stop what they're doing to watch the game. So this, I think, will never die because the broadcast, people really stop and watch. But at the same time, people need more information. They are searching for more content, not only the football, the game itself, but also the stats, SofaScore, of course. So people are searching for more and more.
In fact, Eva, I'm going to throw another statement there that is linked to what we're discussing. The sheer breadth of sports and all the varied interests that intersect with the sports, such as betting or gaming or fashion even, are just another potential entry points from the casual fan to get into watching sports. So the modern sports consumer is as wide-ranging and as any media consumer, really. So do you feel that the future of media makers, ourselves, must honor this diversity in the programming that you create? It's not just about the game anymore, is it?
So it's not about just the game anymore, but the game is the foundation. The game is like basically everything. It's the common denominator that brings us all together to watch this beautiful thing, to forget everything for a couple of hours and just like be 100% concentrated in that thing. Of course, like time has changed. Like it used to be only broadcasters, once upon a time, a TV broadcaster that used to transmit the rights for the games, but now we have like so many other outlets. We have like podcasts, we have like people there on stage, we have people on the pitch side, we have like so many other outlets. But the thing is, to be completely honest, with so much content to consume, also comes like a very big risk, which is like the risk of fake news, of fake information. And of course, in the age of technology, we can only expect even like problems to happen with stuff like this. But of course, you always gotta trust like the official broadcaster and the official media panels.
We will touch on fake news because yes, it's a consequence as well of the quantity of information and the usage more and more of artificial intelligence. We'll touch on that, but staying on the game itself and how it's going to be consumed, I'll throw something else out there. At the moment, sports production requires an elevated level of cooperation between multiple creative and technical professionals in front of the camera, behind the camera. You'd be amazed the amount of people that get involved in a broadcast. But I think it means the future of sports journalism also means working with new partners as well, or in a way, all partners, the athletes themselves. Lately, coverage, or from now on, coverage is going to gravitate towards the careful crafted brand of star players. So then, as media creators, we have to forge a relationship with those sports celebrities. So at the beginning of my career, we were very, very close to those athletes. Now we're very, very far apart. But in the future, we're getting closer. And is it a healthy relationship or not?
Yes, I'm 34 years old. I'm going to explain for everyone who doesn't know me. I'm a sport journalist from Brazil. I live in Paris. It's been 10 years. So I know players. I go to the parties with them. But at the same time, I explain, for example, when I was one day in Neymar's house with a lot of players from PSG, they were saying, Isabella, you were not nice with that question. But I said, guys, I'm a journalist. We have a relationship outside the pitch, outside our job, but I will continue to ask the questions I need. So I'm a professional. You guys will be a professional. If you don't want to answer the question, it's okay to me, but I still need to answer. So for me, I like to be closer to the players because I can understand better their minds. It's like tricky because at the same time, it's a line that I can't transpass, but at the same point, I can have new stories to share with the people, with the audience, with the fans of football that they don't know exactly how is the players outside the pitch because they are normal. They just like us, but they are very rich. But they are like, they have the same problems that we do. So I always like to know players better so I can share these stories and to explain to the audience and the followers that follows me how they really are. So in my interviews, I always try to grab some things that is not only in the terms of football in itself, or not only on the pitch thing. I want to know how they are, what they are not playing football, what they like to do with their family, their hobbies, so I can put them into a human position, not only celebrities.
Yeah, but Isabella, you in a way have got a privileged position that they trust you and you can ask those questions. But Eva, I just feel that I use the word crafted brands. That's what they are now. It's very difficult to go there. And if you are part of making that brand more famous, it's difficult to actually challenge them, isn't it? Yeah. It's difficult to actually get to the bottom of it. A lot of it is scripted. So what is our role in the future, you think?
So I'm just going to add on the same topic, but maybe from my experience and my perspective, because I think like from our experience, like we learned so much and we can share this with the others. So when I first started to present the Champions League in Albania, for example, I was co-hosting with another male host. And in the beginning, of course, I was new to the sports world, but the fact that nowadays, how to tell you this, the gap between social media, the thing that the people are actually thinking, and the main places where these thoughts can go, is getting closer and closer. The gap is getting closer and closer. So the fans can actually tell what they're actually thinking. So from that moment, this was my first season of co-hosting. I present the Champions League in Albania. That was my first year. And then the second season, I was hosting all alone. And it was like such a big thing because like everyone on social media was expressing their opinion, and I'm so much thankful to them because like 8 years later, I still get to do the job that I love only because like the gap is getting smaller and smaller.
Yeah, this is interesting. So, again, when I started my career, a little bit older than all of you here, I was talking from the pulpit. I was on stage and I was telling you what it's like. And it got to a point where you actually were telling me what you think it's like. And at first, it's like, no, hold on, I'm the one who knows. I'm the one who's in touch with these athletes. But you will insist, no, but you have to listen to us. And now we have had to change. I've gone down from the stage. And as you're saying, you have to just share the stage with everyone. That's one of the massive changes. Mark, I don't know if you got a vision of from that position we're in now, where we're heading to.
Well, you said it yourself. We are the creators, actually. So it's up to us to do it on a bit of an initiative. We have to have the responsibility, always be prepared, always be precise, objective. That's the way that you can become trustworthy, but you have to have a sense how much details, if you have a close relationship with somebody. Eva has a show, how much more information before the show you want to give to the people, or if I do live coverage of a certain game, how much info do I want to put out to the people that are listening and watching at home? Because when I started, I had numerous mentors. They said to me, you always have to be 100% prepared. Mm-hmm. But if it's a good match, 20, 30% of those information is really enough. If it's a phenomenal match, take your papers and throw them away. If it's a bad match, you have to go 50, 60, 70, maybe 80 if it's really a boring one, Serie A, 0-0 or something like that. but we create, so it's our responsibility to make some decisions based on our knowledge, but we also have to have that feeling what the public actually wants.
And just a small thing into that. It's like sometimes you have to find like the golden way to keep the balance in all of that. For example, me as a host, sometimes I've been asked, and I think, I don't know, maybe Guillaume can also add to that, because you need to not be... not tell anything that you're thinking right now. You need to keep the balance, and especially, I would say, for TV presenters, especially in Europe, are just like more expected, at least, to be like more presenting of the game and less to show about themselves. In America and in UK, I found like a completely different thing. So the host can be like funny, entertaining, can tell a lot of things about themselves, but in Europe, I think it's still something else.
Yeah, but what's interesting is that as part of the CBS coverage of the Champions League, for instance, what I'm finding, and this is the brainchild of Pete Radovich, who is also creator of all of this, is this idea that you are an individual person with your way, with your look and the way you think.
Gotta show your character.
And show your character and personality. And the success of it, even in Spain, where people are reporting on a show that is only broadcast in social media, mostly in Europe, obviously, and in streaming in the States, is that they are very attracted to that. So it fits what we're talking about. Mm-hmm. We want to know more about the athletes, but I think we started to get to know more about the people that are presenting. Yes. So we're probably heading that way. And another thing that is happening is that Twitter, Instagram, or X and Instagram, that's changed the way that TikTok, even the way that sports journalists interact with the fans. There's a new way of storytelling and engagement. Multiple storytelling and multiple content is something that we're all doing. And it will become even a more important part of what we're doing, no?
Yeah. For example, I work with a Brazilian TV host on YouTube. It's Kazé TV. Just to explain, Kazé is a Brazilian streamer that became a celebrity. And there's a company behind him, a Live Mode, that bought the Kazé brand. So before the Qatar World Cup, they have the rights to broadcast, and they start from zero subscribers to 8 million people. So in 1 month and a half, they start a new channel on YouTube to broadcast the World Cup, and that's massive because now we are 3 million subscribers, and YouTube counts, for example, in a Brazilian game, we have more than 3 million people watch simultaneously, but a YouTube count that is almost the double because nobody watch a game alone in the World Cup. So now, for example, they have more than 1 billion hours watched in the YouTube. They bought World Cup. Now we're gonna broadcast the Euros free for everyone. In Brazil, of course, it's gonna be you can't watch here, but in Brazil it's free. So we have the Olympics. And the way we were talking about, the way we need to share the information, they want more young as possible. So we can say bad words live. They want that the audience connect to us, so we can be ourselves.
Like, let's talk to the commentators. A completely different thing depending where you are commentating, no?
Yeah, it's just what I wanted to say after Eva's last sentences. I mean, it's really different if you're doing on a small market, on a big market, on a huge market, if you're working on YouTube, social media, or if you're working on a public television in a market like Croatia. When I do Croatian national team matches, I would like to swear maybe every 5-6 minutes or something like that, but I actually, I'm not allowed. I think with the way that our agency is doing, we would get a fine 5 minutes later, but all right, that's a different story. But that's, again, us, the creators. You have to have a sense of responsibility, the sense of a moment that you're in, the position you're in, and react accordingly. But it's definitely changing because people are so hungry for the information. Let's say before the World Cup in Qatar, we got a new head of office for our digital stuff on Croatian television, and every day she just give me more. Like, even I can't. I'm preparing for a match. Yes. Send me, how are you preparing for the match? So give the people everything, because if somebody is sitting in Zagreb and he's not going to be in 7 days like the two of us in Berlin, show him the atmosphere in Berlin. I mean, it's really easy to do it today. You have your mobile phone, everywhere you're going, take a photo, make a video, just send it, because we have the privilege to be there, to feel the atmosphere. And we definitely need to share it with everybody. That's, again, our responsibility.
And your audience wants to know exactly what you're doing. I'm filming all the time because people want to live the moment with us by the phone.
No, and nowadays, for example, like the content must be tailored to your audience. So I guess we're still expecting to swear, me and you both on national TV, but no, I don't think it's ever going to happen. Anyway, I think that nowadays it has become like even more difficult because you are expected to be like multi-talented. You're expected to know how to use a camera. You're expected to know how to do video editing. Before, even when you're going to, I don't know, make a broad transmission of or make content for some game, like a camera person would come with you. And nowadays, sometimes you have to do all of yourself, and the script is the thing that is the most expected from you. But you need to be like so multi-talented to do all of that, and still expected to be the best. And the game, it's true that I think the game, it has become like a part. Everyone is gonna watch the game, but everyone is even more interested, and I know for sure that the audience is gonna be so drawn to the before or the post-game content, because like everyone is interested in that, in the gossip, in everything that's happening on the pit side.
During 7 years in Paris, I worked with TNT Sports Brazil as a correspondent in Paris, covering PSG and everything for Champions League as well. So that time, I didn't have a crew. It was only myself, camera, tripod, microphone, doing social media, and one day, like after the game, I needed to be ready with everything fixed. So the sound needs to be good, the focus, the microphone needs to be working. I need to pay attention of everything and still ask good questions. One day, Thiago Silva arrived. He was very tall, and I just interviewed Neymar before, so I need to say, Thiago, just 1 minute, I need to put the camera on a high level because you're too tall. And the guys, look, how she can manage everything. Everyone was surprised. But my TV, that time, asked me to do everything. So after that, I need to translate. For example, if I interview Messi in Spanish, I need to translate to Portuguese. Kylian Mbappe in French, I need to translate to Portuguese. So this multitask, it was a game changer for me because doing that, I can do everything now. So I know how to operate a camera. I can do live broadcast alone. It's a difference.
But now you have AI for translation.
Yeah,
So it's a bit
that's a point. Now, for example, I use CapCut. I don't know if you guys know, but this is a huge tool. When Kylian Mbappe announced that he was leaving Paris Saint-Germain, he put a video in French, and Brazilian don't speak French, but as I do, I download the video, I put on CapCut. I paid for CapCut because there's a good tool, AI. So they translate the subtitles in French and also in Portuguese. But of course, it's not precise, so I need to do some changes. But I was very quick. I put it on live on my Instagram. In about 1 hour, I have more than 500,000 views. So you need to be fast, you need to be use the right tools, and this was a game changer for my job as well.
Fascinating to hear how we had to adapt to this industry. I remember being at university and somebody said, now to do a newspaper, you need a computer. I said, what do you mean, a computer? We come from there to what we're hearing, but we're going to dedicate the next few minutes. We're rushing through things because there's a lot that affects our industry, as we're hearing. But artificial intelligence has just come up, and is certainly the biggest change that's coming ahead. And are we going to embrace it, or do we see it as a rival? Because right now, you can write articles with artificial intelligence. You can produce highlights, so you don't need it anymore, Marco. Yeah. And what is your take on it? Do you see it as a threat? Do you see it as something to embrace?
Well, maybe even as a threat, really, because a couple of months ago, I had an interesting experience. Eurovision had a workshop, and guys from the Omega Timing came. They're in charge for the athletics or track and field for the guys from the US, and he was showing their research and telling us that they have so much data, and that they have a problem with us, normal commentators, because we cannot process that much data. And he showed an example of a race in which, I think it was Faith Kipyegon, she won on 1,500 meters with a huge finish. And he made a statement that they knew 300 meters before the end of the race that she's going to win because of her ability to speed, because of her cadence, longness of the stride, etc., etc., etc. I was like sitting, okay, but do we really want to know 300 meters before the end who's going to win? And he showed the replay of that race, and I asked him, why didn't he show the replay of the mixed relays, in which Femke Bol had 150 meters advantage and fell three I think, strides before the end line, because they didn't have data on that. It simply happened. And I don't think that AI could commentate on that situation like a normal commentator.
Because one thing you big on, of course, and I heard some of your commentaries, is on emotion. How can it reproduce that?
And sport is emotion.
Sport is emotion. Your commentary is emotion. And I think we've got ready a clip that shows exactly that. And then you tell me after we hear it how artificial intelligence can recreate that. So if you can, Maya, you can put the clip.
Livaković! Aj protiv Alisona, Majer! Dobro, Majer, idemo i ovdje na 2:0. Livaković je bio i na ovoj lopti. I na ovoj lopti ovdje je pogodio Livaković stranu. Modrić, Luka! Pedro sa ovim asistiranjem i Pedro sa izljevom emocija nakon što je ovo zabio. Oršić protiv Alisona, Oršić! Marquinhos je promašio! Marquinhos sempre Messi! Idemo u polufinale! Idemo u polufinale, ljudi!
Great job, amazing job, but I was dying. I went, after the Neymar score, I went from heaven to hell.
Yeah, I'm sorry, this
Thanks,
wasn't on
Croatia.
purpose.
I think artificial intelligence will not drop their headphones
Never.
to start with. But
You can actually see all the emotions. It's like
Yeah, and all the
pure
craziness.
adrenaline.
This is real life.
Yes.
The IA will never substitute it, replace our...
yeah, but let me be devil's advocate, because it's quite clear that you cannot reproduce that with artificial intelligence. But you know, you were writing your notes, right? If you had artificial intelligence giving you trends or stories or things you can comment on, that's something you could certainly use.
Yeah.
And I wonder, like with every new technology, if we had a prehistory of it, I wonder if we head in that way as a complement to our storytelling, as you mentioned before, no?
That can help. For example, when I do some YouTube videos commenting on a game, I always look for stats. Now I collaborate with SofaScore. That's very good for me because I use stats to explain why I'm telling this. So if I say that player wasn't that good, now you don't know anything about football. Wait for it. So I share the stats and people, oh, okay, now I got it. But I really think that this is a plus, but never can replace ourselves because we are different from each other. We have each one our personality. And I would never be able to do that. They can put my voice on a video of myself saying something different that I'm saying, but it's not me. You can see on my expression. I'm so expressive, so it's impossible. I think IA can help us, but will never replace our jobs and our personality.
well, not yet, at least, because like we don't know where the AI technology is going. To be completely honest, I think for right now, at least, our jobs are all safe for the moment. But I think AI is very important, at least in sports, because like I was thinking, for example, athletes used to retire so much faster than they used to retire right now, for example, because of AI, they have like the best nutrition, the best gym regimen, all the best things that are tailored to their body, to their things, and so they can have like a better performance, so much better performance. Even for sleep, imagine, who could have ever imagined, like if you wore a ring, like you could have like a better sleep and actually could have like the analysis of your sleep, so you can make such a better performance than they used to before. Or even for companies like SofaScore, our friends here, like they can use this AI technology to predict what the stats of the game are going to be, which is so much helpful for us as TV host, TV presenter. So the AI is something new, something different, sometimes scary, of course, but of course, with great opportunities comes like very, very, very big problems and good stuff. So we need to be careful, but we need to trust the process.
But I think just one point. I think there's always a human being behind all this. For example, we have a watch, the players have a watch that can calculate the recovery, everything, but there's someone to analyze this. It's not a robot. Hello, robot, how are you? No, there's someone to give you insight. The IA can be very useful, but still we need someone behind this. There's always a doctor following a player. There's always someone regarding everything. This is a tool, but never be replaceable at all because we're going to be all robots.
In fact, that takes us
Up until now.
because
Always.
we're going to have to adapt, quite clearly, is the next thing we have to adapt to. But it takes, every time there is a new tool, a new technology, I think we have to stop for a second and look what we are, who we are, what we do, and see what the essence of what we do is. And it doesn't matter if it's computer or AI, we have to be truthful, work on our sources, make sure we're closer to the truth that we can, because truth doesn't fully exist. But it is our target to get as close to that. So I guess you have gone through that reflection as well, no? That, okay, there's all these things thrown at us, we have to be multifaceted and all that, but we have an essence that will not change. That has not changed, has it, Marco?
Yeah, definitely. The thing that we have to be is prepared, precise, objective as possibly as we can, and then we are trustworthy, and then we are doing our job the right way. You have to have emotions, you have to feel the moment and know when to let those emotions go, where you can swear, where you cannot swear, and then you're doing this job, which actually is I would say it's a skill. I think that journalism is a skill, and then you're doing it the right way.
And we shouldn't be either enemies or be scared of the audience becoming the content
definitely,
creator.
yeah.
In fact, embrace it, because you will learn a lot from the people that haven't been in front of the camera a million times, because then you develop a certain way of saying things.
I think that Tanya from AC Milan said they're cutting out the hate with the AI, and that's definitely a good thing, but don't cut out the negative thing, because you need to know if you're not doing something right. You need to know if you're not doing something that public doesn't feel right. Hate, no, but positive things, definitely. Negative things also.
So if we're going to write a conclusion of what we talked about today, it has to be something like this. The future for sports media will still be driven by the unique drama and unpredictability of live sports. While this distinctive content cannot be replicated, the future holds the tools for amplifying live games to new audiences, while transforming the traditional broadcast experience into a far more immersive and collaborative entity. We agree?
Yeah.
And it's a good way to finish this.
Yeah. I mean, AI is predicting for the Euros, and they said 24% that England is going to be victorious. Come on.
Just because they lost against Iceland doesn't mean that they've got a good team. Thank you very much to all of you.
Thank you, guys.